Thank you everyone for being here. I'm excited to go into my 5th season here on the mountain. As I look out and just see my players, and I see all of you in administration and other coaches here, I just think of investment. And over the past 4 years, the past players and the players that are here now have just invested in changing the culture and changing what App State softball is all about. And I think that's really what we are all about and what has made the difference for our program here. He mentioned that we won our first tournament victory last year, and that really is just the trajectory of our program. That's it. Moving forward, we took a lot away from that win. It was huge for us. Having been in the postseason in the NISC our second year, that helped. But then the Sun Belt, it's so strong. 4 of our teams went to a regional, and we were number 5. So we are right on the cusp of doing some really great things. And it goes back to investment of what our program is doing and the recruits that are coming in and the players that are doing extra. And I think that's what is going to continue to elevate this program. We've got some really talented players, but it goes back to more than talent for us. It goes back to the character on and off the field, the family environment, and we just want to win, and the players want to win for each other. They look to each other for encouragement. As females, it's a different motivation than a lot of male sports, and I think that the family environment really is important in what we're doing here on the mountain to elevate this program. And so, moving forward, this season we're excited. We start in 11 days, and it's exciting that we are around our region a lot for our preseason. We start off at Elon and head to Presbyterian the following week, and then Charleston and UGA. And so, we've got a mix in our schedule, and that was done purposefully. Some top teams. We need to prepare for the conference, seeing as the conference is so strong that we've got to prepare with those tough teams, but also making sure we're knowing and learning how to win. Winning is important. Obviously, I was brought in here to change the program, and we want to win, but we want to win at different parts, and that's in the classroom, in the community, and on the field. That's the goal. Our goal, we talk about it a lot, it's postseason. That's a regional. And so for us to do that, we have got to invest. And again, I'm so proud of the girls for, investing in everything we do. It's hard. It's hard being a student athlete, but they love what they do, and they wouldn't be here if they didn't love it, because it is so hard, but it's very rewarding. And at the end of the day, I'm so proud that the accomplishments that they have made over the past 4 years. We've got a super senior, Bailey Morton, and I think that she has really taken on some leadership, and she's here for that 5th year because she has invested in making this program better. So I'm excited to start in 11 days and ready really to get going, and hopefully we'll get off the mountain this weekend to get on some dirt. That's always kind of a thing for us. Is we're thankful for we have Sofield and we can play inside, and we've been doing that, and the balls come harder off of turf. I know like baseball has it every day, but we play a lot of games on dirt. And so it's important for us to hopefully get off the mountain this weekend and get on some dirt and be ready to play next week at Elon.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
I want to talk about on-field stuff in a minute, but you lost some real veteran players off this team last year, girls that played a lot of innings for you here, and I know that they probably gave you even more in leadership that has to be replaced. As you've gone through the all season, you head into the beginning of this season, where are you seeing that leadership void be filled from your current roster?
The energy with our youth, some really key players in our sophomore class that you'll hear from in a little bit, but also our freshmen coming in. We've got a whole new infield, basically. We've got, Emma Jones played, a little bit of our season last year, but, was, cut short due to injury. So technically it's kind of like it's her freshman year as well. But the leadership in the youth, the energy that the young players bring every day, I think that's huge for us. Yes, we did lose a lot of leadership, and especially that infield, and Carrie White and Gabby Barato and Sydney Russell and Sydney Holland and Kenzie Longenecker. But they were talented. They did great things for us. But again, as we continue to move our program forward with the recruits that we're bringing in, we're definitely bringing in more athletic players. And I see leadership from, their freshman year. And then again, like I stated earlier about Bailey Morton, she's been just the staple behind the plate for us. And she has done a great job. And a lot of those returning players, we've got 14 returners that have really taken people under their wings and just letting them know how things operate. And so we as a coaching staff don't really have to do that. And I think because of their investment, they've done a really good job. But I really see that youth and the energy. And I think there'll be some young mistakes that happen. But just from seeing over the past 4 weeks of practice, they've really meshed well together. Especially, what excites me is that we've got them for the next 3-4 years. So that just being able to train and intentionally train together will help us for the future.
Obviously, looking on the pitching side of things, a couple of workhorses gone. So a lot of innings have to be picked up there. Take us through that. What do you expect to see ideal world as you go through this season?
Sure. We've got Delaney Buckner, who threw about 50 innings for us last year behind Sid and Kenzie. We brought her in, and we knew she would be great for us. Last year she was okay. A lot of things to work on, but she learned a lot under those two. But this year, her investment into making herself better off the field and in the weight room and getting stronger, she's done a great job. Our pitching coach has turned the pitching around in a heartbeat, especially with Taylor Nichols as a senior pitcher who didn't see many innings. She looked great in the fall. So a combination of those two returners, plus we have three new pitchers, a transfer from UNLV, Kaylee, and she is a lefty pitcher and has done a great job for us in the fall. And then we've got 2 freshman pitchers that, we're expecting a lot from as well. I believe that this year we will use the 5 as a true staff more than I ever have. And they know that. And I think that they've bought into that. They've meshed very well. But it's going to be knowing when to make those changes, and especially in the Sun Belt Conference. You go through a lineup once and, that may be the time to make that change. Obviously, time will tell. But I do look forward to, we've got 5 talented pitchers. Whereas before, I'm not sure we had the depth in the pitching staff. And I feel we have the depth in the pitching staff this year if they understand that what their role is. And I believe that we've taught them that. And Natalie, our pitching coach, has talked about that on a daily basis. So I'm really looking forward to them stepping up, in a lot of different ways for us.
Flipping over to offense, a couple of really active bats are gone. What do you feel like the offensive identity of this particular team is going to look like as it develops?
I definitely think we're more athletic. We're more, consistent at the plate. So from what we've seen in the fall in the past 4 weeks, definitely more consistent. And I think that's a big thing for us. It's, it's not all or none. We've got some power. We've got Kate Houston, who's returning, who is, a top hitter for us. And, she was our DP last year and actually one of our best outfielders. But just the way we had to work the lineup, she's now back in the outfield and has done a great job leading that outfield, along with, we've got 2 other at-bats, outfielders, Mary Pierce and Emily. So we've got some in the outfield. We've really got some experience out there, which I think is going to help us, considering that the infield is so young, but we've got that experience in the outfield. Hitting wise, we've also got, Bailey's been a staple for us in the middle of the lineup for us. And we've got Emma Jones back. I think that's huge for us. That was a big loss for us last year. She was our leading hitter, basically leading the conference, hitting 400 and then, goes down with an injury. And if you're not that deep, that does hurt. But again, someone stepped up right behind her, next person up and, took over for her. And then we've also got some newcomers that I think are going to add. We've got some speed that we've brought in, along with, again, just base-to-base hitter, gap hitters, and I think that's important. But I think overall, we're going to be a better hitting lineup than we have been. I think they've trusted in the process. We talk a lot about the process, and they've trusted in that process. It's not going to happen overnight. I think it's hard for freshmen to understand how successful they were in travel ball or high school and come in and, sometimes fail in the fall. And, now, because we've encouraged them to understand what failing is, that they'll be better off in the long run. We've got a freshman in Kylie LaRosa. She's another catcher for us that will, help alleviate taking some innings away from Bailey, just to, keep Bailey as healthy as possible. But she was a big hitter for us in the fall. We played 8 games, did really well, and, she hit 6 home runs in the 8 games. So we've got some power as well, but I think overall our lineup will be definitely better.
Looking at your schedule, are there some opponents coming up that you on a personal level are really looking forward to playing this year? And maybe a couple of matchups that you find very intriguing matchups for your team?
I think just playing, an outside opponent is going to be great for us. I think we talk about every day's a new day, and I wouldn't say that there's any specific opponents. We've got to play against ourselves, and we want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to take care of our business. We don't look too far ahead. We look at the first day of the Elon tournament, and then we look at the next day afterwards. And so I think it's important for us to stay focused on one pitch at a time. We talk a lot about that with the pitchers. So just focusing on winning that inning, for whoever we're playing. Obviously, we play multiple teams, whether it's in a tournament or home and away, non-conference. And then, of course, when we get to conference, it's, every game you've got to bring your A game, whether it's Lafayette, whether it's Monroe, whether it's Troy. And, we don't get too involved in who the opponent is, honestly. We just want to make sure that, we're taking care of ourselves.
So this school year, we've had several teams setting school and conference attendance records. Excitement about App State sports seems to be at like an all-time high across the board. So that being said, do you have any programs or incentives planned to kind of continue that momentum and get the campus and community excited about your own program?
I think our marketing does a great job. Obviously we've sat down a few times already, and we'll continue to sit down. We're just going to be excited to have, fans again in the stands. It was very limited last year, and so I think the more fans we can have, the better. I do know, honestly, it was tough for our team and females. Our girls want their parents in the stands, and that was very tough. However, because we didn't have that many in, we had a lot in the outfield, and I think that was a pretty cool thing for us, is that we made the parents, the families. They made, some tailgating out in the outfield really a new thing for us, and so they were able to still watch the game. But I think it will help us having, fans in there and just, being able to play in front of someone. For us, it's a little different, than baseball talked about. I feel that females, we need that. And by having that this year, it'll be great for us. And just to, sometimes, you want to stay focused on the game, and we expect the team to be focused. But, when you look up in the stands and see your parents, it's just, sometimes it makes it all the better for them. So we're excited to have some fans in there.
Sherry, I know from the time that you arrived up here in Boone that community service has been something that's been very, very important to you, and things that you've done with your family and different things like that. How do you pass your passion for that along to your players and everybody else that's involved in your program?
We do love serving. And I think that's very important, giving back. We talk about that. I think it's just in conversations that we talk about it, with our players. And there's been a lot of instances that, you learn more from your players when you're in those environments. And I think it goes both ways. The players learn more about us coaches. And so I think the more we do that, it's just about in conversations. It's not saying, hey, you know what, we have to do this. It's we want to do this. We want to give back. We want to give back in order for people to, know who we are. And I feel that our team has done a really great job in the community of, taking some different initiatives with youth, with camps, even serving, at the hospitality house, just doing different things. And I think getting them out doing different things, not just the same community service events or serving others, I think that's important too, because we want our young women to, when they come into the program, they're already great people. That's who we recruit, but we want them to be even better people when they leave. So being able to go through some things and know and see different things that people go through will only help them. And I think we talk a lot about failing. We talk a lot about not having things that other people have, just personally. And, every team goes through and every student athlete goes through their struggles. And I think sometimes we learn more from those kind of things and negative failures than we do from the positives. That's just my opinion. Even in a game, when we win, it's great. Everyone loves to win, but when you lose a game or you don't have something in your personal life, I think that really shows and teaches lessons more than a win or a victory on the field or even in the classroom. When people achieve high GPAs, sometimes when you struggle and then you achieve higher, I think you learn so much more from those kind of things. And those kind of things are important to us as a program, just to be prepared for real life, because life's hard. And making sure we're able to serve others and teach others and just be good people. We talk a lot about those kind of things too, about being a good person, being a good teammate. And, as I look out, to our players, they're here because they are good people. They're talented, but being a good person is really important in our program. And making sure we're doing the right things on and off the field. And serving is just one of those things. And I know a lot of our players just have that passion to serve.
What is the biggest thing that has to happen this year for your team on the field to take that next step that you have been pursuing as a goal for the last 5 years in this program?
I think a lot of it has to do with health, making sure we stay healthy, especially through this COVID still. But also just the belief when we go through some tough times, and there'll be tough times throughout the season. We've got to continue to have each other's back. But we also have to continue to develop. We can't, whether we do well or we don't, we've got to make sure that we continue to train on a daily basis with intentions. It's very important to be intentional in our training. With a purpose we talk about, but that's going to be really key because we do play some tough competition and we've got to bring our A game. If we fail a little bit, we've got to learn how to deal with that adversity. And so I think just making sure we're sticking by each other and sticking to the process is going to be really important this year for us.